This demand schedule and demand curve both representing the demand theory. As we know, we have discussed that. But this representation, the demand curve represents a demand schedule. What we discuss is that is known as household demand, or that is individual demand. We have to understand two concepts: household demand or individual demand and the market demand. Two concepts: household demand and market demand. Market demand, right? Or we can say individual demand and market demand. This household demand, we can say that one person, consumer A is there. Consumer A, consumer B, consumer C. There are three consumers. Right? Three consumers are there, and is the price is the quantities, right? Three individual demands: A's demand, B's demand, and consumer C's demand. Okay, 5, 10, and 15. Under 5 rupees, A demands 10. Under 10, A demands 7. Under 15, it demands 5. B demands 12 under 5. B demands 10 under 10. Under 15, B demands 7. But in higher price, demand reduced in both columns. Both A and B reduce their demand. Under 5, C demands, we'll say 15 and 12 and 10. And market demand. Market demand of these three consumers. Now, market demand is the sum of all individual demands. Here, 10, 12, 15, 5 to 7, 37, and 10 to 22, 22 is on 29, and here 22. In market demand also, in higher price, lower price, more quantity demanded, higher quantity is demanded by all consumers. In higher price, that was reduced from 37 to 29. Then even you can represent this in market demand. Also, you can represent by the demand curve. You can draw individually these curves, and then if you draw demand curve under this quantity, then that is the market demand curve. right? Market demand curve. Right. This demand theory of demand that we are considering based on that assumption only the price is changing, all other factors or determinants of demand are constant. Only the price factor goes up and down. According to price factor, change of the price, quantity demanded varies, but that also going up and down. That is changing, right? Now, other concept. As an example, think the price is constant. One or few factors are changing in except the price. That means price constant, other factors are changing. That is not the change of quantity demanded, that is the change of demand. That is the change of demand. Let me explain. The first concept we studied under the price theory, under the theory of demand, only price was changed while all other factors are constant. In the second concept, in demand function we discussed dx equal f function of px p1 to n y t so on other factors. Many factors are there, advertising, everything, right? Right. Now, we'll consider this P is constant. We'll think about this. This means other goods. Other goods. What are these other goods? Other goods are complementary goods. Or substitutions or substitute goods. Substitutes mean alternatives. Instead of rice, you can use bread. Instead of coffee, you can use tea. Or instead of tea, you can use coffee. That up to your choice. That is maybe your taste, right? Anyway, substitutions are there. That means to fulfill one requirement, there are many goods in the market. Now people need foods. You have learned this in the lesson needs and wants. Right? People needs food. But in the market, there are so many goods to fulfill that requirement. Right? When you are hungry, you will eat rice or you will eat noodles, bread. There are many alternatives. Right? Substitutions are that alternative products, alternative goods in the market. And complementary goods. Definitely you have to use one product with another. The best example is this whiteboard and this pen. If I have only the whiteboard, that is useless. Why? I need this pen. Then I am buying this pen because of the whiteboard. And another example, your socks and shoes. You are not wearing shoes, you are not wearing socks without shoes. And the tire and the tube. All those are complementary goods. Now what is happening? A substitute good. We'll consider one substitution, tea and coffee. Tea and coffee. What happens if the tea price goes up? Tea price goes up, then the demand for coffee also going up. That combination is positive. That combination is positive for substitute goods. Why? Consumers who can't bear the price of tea, they are shifting to coffee. Why? Coffee price never changed. The tea price changed. Right? When what happened? If the coffee is the desired good, tea is the substitute good, then the substitution good that is going up and down the price, then that affect to the desired good. Coffee demand will change it. As an example thing, tea price goes down, then coffee customers are shifting to tea. Why? They can taste tea under lower price. With lower cost, they can taste tea. Then they are shifting from coffee to tea. If this is going up, they are moving from tea to coffee. Right? That is substitution. That has the positive connectivity. Price and the price of desired good and the quantity, there is negative relationship, and the substitutes and the price of substitute goods and the demand of desired product, that has positive relationship. What about the complementary goods? Complementary goods, then if complementary goods price goes up, then the demand for the complementary good goes down. If the whiteboard price goes up, then I am not buying the whiteboard. Then no point of buying the pen. Then that directly affect to the demand of this pen. Why? Whiteboard prices goes up. Then the demand of this going down. Sugar and tea. Tea prices goes up, then people, they are not consuming tea, then they are not going to use tea, the sugar with tea. Then what is happening? The relationship is negative with complementary goods and desired goods. Complementary goods and desired goods. Right. Let me summarize these relationships. Price and quantity, right? Price of desired good. Price of desired good and quantity of desired good. This is one combination. Right? This is combination 1. In this combination, the relationship is negative. Is negative relationship. And the second combination is price of price of substitute good and quantity of, we will say demand of desired good. The second combination, substitute goods and demand of desired good. The combination relationship is positive. Why? The price goes up and demand goes up. And third is price of complementary goods, good, and demand of desired good. Then the combination is again negative. Negative. Right. Based on this, right, these are the combinations between price, or the substitute goods and complementary goods. Right. Now I explain this while I'm explaining what happened when the price is constant and one of few factors of determinant changing except the price, right? That is not change of quantity demanded, that is the change of demand. Change of demand. Let me show in the demand graph what is happening. I draw the demand curve of X product, commodity X, right? Price, quantity, and the demand curve, right? This is the demand curve. Right. One price level is there, another price level is there. We'll say 5 and 10. The quantity think this is 7 and 10. Under 5, 10, under 10, 7. Right? Now think. One of these factors is changing. As an example, the Y is changing. Y, what is Y? Yield, the income. Income, consumer's income. That is Y. What is happening if the consumer's income goes up? We think that consumers will demand more quantities of the particular product. Now think, under 5, now the consumer is demanding 10 if that increase to if his income increased, now consumer is demanding 15. We'll say 15. Right? 15. Right? So that comes here. Under 10, normally 7. Now he will demand 10. Another demand curve we have to draw. We'll say this is D1. Then demand curve shifts outward, and think the consumer's income goes down, then what is happening? We are drawing another demand curve. We'll say that is D2. Right? Let me draw that without this price indications. Right. This is the demand curve. D. D1. D2. What happened? This demand curve shift outward and inward. This is also known as the demand curve shift outward or inward or leftward or rightward. But in this concept, this context, in the price context, what's the situation? The situation is on the higher price, lower quantities, and lower price, higher quantities. This is known as moving upward and downward along the demand curve. This concept is change of demand. This is change of demand. Demand. And this is change of quantity demanded. Change of demand and change of quantity demanded. This is the difference, right? Change of demand, that is also being known as moving demand curve leftward or rightward or outward or inward, and this is known as moving upward or downward along the demand curve. Moving upward or downward along the demand curve.